Good evening, vampires. This is your source, Lashiel, speaking to you from the very bowels of hell, or at least my little office space below the bowels of hell, as it were. I just watched the most recent episode of Behind the Fang featuring our Pyrion, Lord Oberon. It was a great episode and I enjoyed watching it. However, he made some comments about the idea of familiars and the quick how they become familiars. And while what he said was accurate, it wasn't complete. There's a bit more to it, so I thought I would chime in with just a bit of clarification because there are those out there who disagree with the idea of humans walking amongst vampires and be treating with any form of respect or what have you. They are food, they are not people per se. It's a valid point of view as a vampire. Therefore, Quick being added to a family as a familiar will be a right of a clan or a house to implement. Of course, it has to be allowed at the clan level first. If it's allowed at the clan level, then it has to also be allowed within a given house. Um, and then from that point, if the clan allows it and the house allows it, any vampire within the house may identify a human as being a member of their family, as a familiar. Now, what that means by a member of the family depends on what kind of familiar they are. Um, all familiars are protectorates of the given house. They are members of the house, but low standing members of the house. They are not equal to vampires. They are not. They can be treated as equal if that is how the clan wishes to handle it. But general vampire society will not view them as being equal in status to a vampire. Again, like I said, if the house chooses to view them that way, if the clan chooses to view them that way, that is the clan or house's individual business. But what it breaks down to is there are three basic type of familiars that a given quick could be. A quick being, of course, as Oberon said, a human that has become aware of the night. They have been brought into the knowledge and awakened to the fact that the supernatural is real. In other words, out of character, they are aware of the game and want to be part of it, but they're not a vampire, at least not yet. So the first kind of familiar you might have would be a protectorate, a protected asset. This typically is someone who is not necessarily involved in the game, but somebody who is valuable or tangentially associated to a given clan or clan member, such as maybe a vendor that is on familiar terms. Somebody that could be said to be aware of vampire society, tolerant of it, and or accepting, and they have been granted the protection of the given house or clan. This person is not actively involved in progeny, but they attacking them would be constituted as a attack on the house or clan to which they belong. They've basically been claimed, and that's what I call them, the claimed. The next level up from a claim is a blood doll or pet. A blood doll or pet, these kind of generally fall into either the category of a BDSM relationship or a more traditional couple in the fact that, or rather differentiated by how they're treated. They're either submissive or they are equal in the eyes of that given couple. Either way, this is a quick that is a close, what's the word I'm looking for, intimate member of the family directly tied to a given vampire as their dominus. Blood dolls generally are kept healthy. There will be tools for feeding them to bring their health back much, much more rapidly. This is kind of the thing that Oberon mostly referred to in his brief briefing on this subject. And then the third type of a familiar would be a groomed. This is a quick who has been brought into the family for the sole purpose of eventually granting them vampirehood. This allows somebody to be brought into your family for a period of time, that period of time set by the leadership of the given family for training and deciding whether or not they have what it takes to walk the shadows for eternity. Groomed familiars are not guaranteed the embrace. They have to be found worthy of it by the given family based on whatever criteria the family holds to. So the groomed is the third type, and that is, I think, the most interesting because they are vampires in training. They still, because they have not yet received the embrace, do not have the full status within the family of vampirehood, but they have more status than a typical blood doll or pet because they are intended to become a full vampire at some point. So pets should be wary of them given the fact that someday they will stand high above them as a blood drinking creature of the night. Oh, sorry about that. Anyway, that's basically all I wanted to add in, that there are the three basic types of blood dolls, or three basic types of familiars: the blood doll, the pet, the groomed, and or the protected. Um, how much or how close each are to a given clan or brought into a society, that is up to each clan and house to decide. Clans can, of course, choose not to allow either or any of them and simply say, we don't recognize humans as being anything more than food. And if individual vampires within that clan or house disagree, then maybe they should look for a new home. If somebody's in a clan or house that agrees with these and they do not, they run the risk of being expelled and needing to find a new home. That is all up to vampires. I leave it for vampires to govern themselves on these matters. That's about it for this particular update. I hope to find time myself to appear on Behind the Fang in the near future. I'll see if I can make that happen, but right now my primary focus, of course, is on getting the new HUDs done, tested, and out to the beta testers, and then for general release as soon as is inhumanly possible, as well as getting the resire system and the potency transfer system back online as soon as I'm physically able, because I need all of those things in place to start introducing the new components I wish to build and implement into the system. Everybody have a wonderful evening. This has been your source speaking to you from the bowels of hell, or as I say, my office under such. Have a good evening. Good night.